the Indiana Fever are really like, if you've been looking recently, all they've been talking about is pushing the pace. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they get on with that. And obviously, for you guys that are currently in the chat right now, I am live, by the way, when this video goes live. This will be like right before the game starts. And if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If we can somehow hit or we can hit somehow hit 20k by the end of the day, that would be absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, so they're all just talking about that. So listen to what Katie Lou Samuelson says about just the running and the team and just getting Caitlin Clark involved in the team. And this is why I think she's been pushed in the starting lineup, because she can run. This is why I think Lexie Hull is probably going to be in the starting lineup. Like, the starting lineup's probably going to be announced during this video by the time I'm recording this. But listen to what Katie Lou says.
The biggest strides Caitlin's game has taken in this first part of the season from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's always been, this player. I think we are just now seeing it come out in the triple-double and the things like that, just being rewarded for it. But us playing with her and her confidence, every shot she takes, I feel confident that it's going to go in, trying to find where she wants the ball and where she wants to be in positions. But we've really started to push the pace and run the floor, and I think that's something that she's excels at really well. And so us being able to run with her and get to those spots that she wants to throw it, we've gotten a lot better at that and get it together as a unit.
And that's like, again, that is why you're seeing Katie Lou be in the starting lineup. That's why it's looking like starting lineup hasn't been announced, but they've put Lexie Hull as the picture for game day. I know that doesn't mean anything, but you're seeing now Lexie Hull starting to play more. And I just think it is so much of a pity that Celeste Taylor got cut when she did. I think if they had cut Saxon instead of Celeste Taylor, we would be looking at Celeste Taylor playing 15-20 minutes a game. I genuinely would be thinking, like, if they had not cut Celeste Taylor at this point, like, this would be a situation where she'd be getting burned. She'd be getting burned. And, like, even if you listen to Caitlin Clark, I'll be making a video specifically about this point right here. Like, obviously what Kelsey Mitchell was saying.
Like, even if I miss, I'm going to take the moment. Like, if it's time for, C-Squared for me to be ready and C-Squared needs me, I want to do my best to be ready. And, I'm never not going to do that. So that's why I stay after and shoot,
So she's just talking about being ready for the passes. Caitlin Clark here.
Yeah, I mean, there will definitely be some learning curves and some challenges, but also, like, I think my passing translates. That people always want to talk about the logo threes, the scoring, whatever. But, to have the talent around me that I'm going to have is, like, just feed them the ball.
Yeah. So, like, you can even hear with Caitlin herself. Talking about how it's the passing. And is Christy Sides improving as a coach? Yeah, I actually do think she's improving as a coach. Look, at the end of the day, I think she's terrible. But, like, I will always say this, even if you are terrible, thank you for the $5, James, really appreciate it. Like, even if you are terrible, if you are adaptable, like, if you can just say, like, no matter how bad I am as far as the X's and O's of this sport goes, if I'm able to just adapt and bring out a system to get the best of my generational talent, you're fine. Like, you don't have to be a good coach to win games with a team that has more talent than the other teams. A bad coach will lose you games. A completely incompetent coach a bad coach will not help you win games. An incompetent coach will lose you games you should have won. And through a certain point, like, she was losing them games they should have won. She was. But, like, she's not right now. She's just not. And what Katie Lou said was absolutely on the money. She was absolutely on the money. Like, you can see there, some of the comments, AJ Wilson's breathing hard, walking up and down. They only won because the game slowed down. And it wasn't even, no, they won because Kelsey Plum heated up and Indiana SH1T to bed in the fourth quarter. Like, they panicked in the fourth quarter, and LA, who are two-time champions, acted like two-time champions. But it was a talent gap. It wasn't a play style gap. And that is where this style of play, when you've now got the players who are getting better and better and better, you've got a lineup that looks to be fitting. Like, you're seeing, as I've said, you're seeing Katie Lou inserted into the lineup. Like, Katie Lou the one thing she's really bringing to this team is she runs. Katie Lou runs and runs and runs. Caitlin Clark will pass and pass and pass to runners. Like, it was why Temi Fagbenle was so much of a positive in this team. And, like, even with her out, like, Damiris Dantas can give you 7 or 8 minutes a game. But it's what Lexie Hull brings that Christy Wallace doesn't. Like, again, look, Kelsey Mitchell's gonna Kelsey Mitchell. It's what Erica Wheeler doesn't bring. It's what Erica Wheeler just does not bring. And that's the problem with Erica Wheeler, her minutes, is that she needs to stagger them with Caitlin Clark, because when this team plays a breakneck speed, and I'll always say it, I think Caitlin Clark should probably play 35 a game. I think 40 is too much, 38, 39. She doesn't need to play that. If the team wants to change to a slowdown game, you can take her off for 5 minutes. If Christy Sides does want to change the tempo of the game, which is fine, a coach can want to do that, you take Caitlin Clark off for 5 minutes. But still, I genuinely think, and Lexie Hull is a starter, according to Matthew Byrne. Shout out to him, by the way. Shout out to him. Almost everything I'm getting from the Fever for videos comes from him. Shout out to him, being the Indiana journalist. So Lexie Hull starting now for the Fever just shows the direction that this team is trying to go. It shows the direction that that Christy Sides wants to go. It shows the direction the Indiana Fever want to go. And the funny thing is that, like, Lexie Hull is fine. She's a bench player. Like, she is a bench player for this type of a game, realistically. So this is the starting 5. Lexie's in there. She should be a bench player. If you had, again, for example, imagine replacing Lexie Hull with Dejanay Carrington. Imagine replacing Katie Lou with somebody else. Like, Katie Lou, again, making a near max contract, shoots the ball a little bit and runs. Like, if you can build around next season, you're probably going to lose Katie Lou again in the expansion draft. She's probably going to the Valkyries. You might want to keep Lexie Hull just because of her contract. You're probably going to lose Katie Lou because she's on a near max. There's no point trying to keep her for another year where you can get someone who fits a little bit better. But again, she runs. She runs. Aaliyah Boston is one of the best half-court. She's becoming a really good pick-and-roll big. Kelsey Mitchell's going to Kelsey Mitchell. And Lexie Hull is fitting in. Today, in this game, she's going to make it hard for Ariel Atkins. It is just a pity when you're talking about fit when we talk about NaLyssa Smith. And she might be the one player that's like... She might be the player that's almost left behind with this. Is that she's exceptionally good at what she does. NaLyssa Smith is really, really good. And I wouldn't be surprised if NaLyssa Smith if they end up trading NaLyssa Smith, or when her rookie deal's done, she leaves and is brilliant somewhere else. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if NaLyssa Smith is an all-star. But she's not an all-star in this system. And that's kind of where the problem is with NaLyssa Smith, is like, she's exceptional. She's not exceptional in this system. But like, you're seeing now that Christy Sides is really starting to build towards Caitlin Clark. And it's what people said from the start. And I will say, like, you're now seeing like a situation when it comes to the Fever where they're starting to build around their star and they're starting to look better as a team. And it really did take them a while before the team figured it out. But yeah, they're starting to.